What's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Today we have a very special guest on the show.
We have the most handsome man from Limerick, 2019 Ireland champion and Rugby Sevens Irish sensation, the heartthrob, Greg O'Shea.
Greg, welcome to the show, man.
Cheers, that's some intro. There's going to be a lot of Limerick lads to debate about the good-looking title, but I'll take it.
It took us about an hour to write that down. Do you know that?
No, Greg, that's straight off the cuff. Don't mind that. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where
that's gonna be my Instagram bio now.
There you go, Greg.
Yeah.
Greg,
there we have it. Limerick's most handsome man.
First of all, where are you now, Greg?
I'm actually in my family house in Limerick. So I came back here because of everything that's going on with the coronavirus. But usually I live in Dublin.
You usually live in Dublin, yeah?
Well, whereabouts? Are you north side or south side?
South side, Dundrum, right beside the shopping centre. So it's a good location.
Yeah, nice.
You get all your gear there.
Yeah. Whereabouts are you based? You on the north side?
North side, the real dubs, you know?
Oh, jeez. Proper dubs, so.
You better believe it.
Proper dubs. Yeah, but Greg, how are you, like, obviously you're an athlete. How are you keeping active during this coronavirus going down?
So yeah, it's a bit crazy, man, especially with the Olympics being postponed now, and that was kind of the big target for the Sevens team. So it's kind of all a bit crazy, but it's crazy for every team across the world. Yeah. So basically what's been done is we've been sent out a training program to get done, and we're doing double sessions every day. So it's as if we're training away, but we're all doing it by ourselves. And I actually went and bought an assault bike today, so I won't be stuck for something to do.
Yeah, good man. Yeah. Obviously, we can't like get into things without talking about Love on it, right? But like, you must be used to this sort of lockdown situation as well. So it's probably not as hard on you than it is other people, you know.
It's actually scary how like similar it is, this situation right now. Like, we used to just get up. I only did 2 weeks of it now, but we used to just get up, shower, get changed, and then go out the back garden like for the whole day. So the only thing that's missing is cameras. Yeah. And obviously a lot of girls walking around in their bikinis.
Unfortunately, man.
Unfortunately,
yeah, man.
Greg, I actually think you hold the record of being in Love Island for the shortest amount of time and winning it. How does that feel?
Oh man, it's crazy. I don't think there's been a winner that hasn't been there since day one, and me just to swoop in at the end and win it with was incredible. And I feel like the luckiest man in the world. Like, you couldn't write that stuff, and I think the Irish really got behind it as well, because it was just so funny. Like, I had my farmer's tan and everything like that, so it just worked out, and it was funny. Very lucky, man.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say, right, when I first saw you go on the show, I was like, he just seems like an actual lad. You could tell you weren't putting anything on, or it was actually just quite refreshing. And also being Irish as well, like, and having more on the show as well, it just made the whole country really zone in on it.
Yeah, I think that's the great thing about Irish people, is that they get behind no matter what's going on, as long as the people are Irish. Like, you could be playing badminton in the middle of Africa somewhere, and because you're playing for Ireland, you'll be supported by your people, like, you know.
Yeah.
So myself and Maura flying the flag get on really well, and I say to everyone, they're like, how did you win it? Like, and I'm like, any fella from, like, any of my mates, any Irish lad could have gone in, it would have been the same story. Like, it's just kind of the way we are. And I think I contrasted with the English lads a lot in that sense, and people just kind of related to me and ended up working. So I'm very lucky, man. Yeah,
because we're friends with some of your teammates on this Rugby Sevens, like Ian and Jordan, and like we were watching their stories during like the countdown for you winning, and they were just shouting you out so much. Like, everyone got really excited. It was cool.
Yeah, they're some of my best mates now in the team, and that's the greatest thing about the Sevens team, is that we're all mates outside the rugby, but they all had an unbelievable time. Like, I think they went into Zico or D2 or somewhere in Dublin and just had a huge party. Literally all my friends from school, from rugby, from home. It's like, I wish I was there. They're having a better time than I am. I'm glad I could do it for them and for the country.
Yeah.
How did it feel, like, being recognised everywhere, and like, just like, obviously in your social media absolutely like blow up? You know what I mean? Like, you have over 1 million Instagram followers. The amount of people who pay so much money to actually have them.
I know, it's probably wasted on me, to be honest, because I am crap at social media.
Yeah, but you're just being yourself.
Just come to Well, that's the thing, yeah. And the funniest part that people don't realize is when I decided not to keep dating Amber, I lost 400,000 followers within like a couple of days. Like, it was crazy. Think about that. Like, put that in context. That's like 4 full Croke Parks all going unfollow.
Yeah, well, they were doing for that Amber content. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So it's all a bit, it's all great, and it's kind of brought opportunities to me that I would have never had before. But I'm definitely not going to get ahead of myself because it can all be taken away from you straight away, and the lads are making sure of that as well.
No, I'm sure.
I heard Amber lost 401,000 followers, so like, jokes on her.
Yeah, but you see, like when you went on, like a lot of us, like we were like, who in Ireland could actually go on it? Because obviously the year before Rob Lipsett was on it. I think he was the first person on it, and then like obviously Maura as well. But then like you're an actual athlete, like that came like as a total left, like a curveball. No one expected that, you know.
Yeah, it was a weird one. I was actually supposed to go in at the start of the whole series, but it didn't work out because I had rugby commitments. So I said no, and then they came back again and asked me to go in at week 6, and I said no because I still couldn't do it rugby commitments. And they came back again, being like, if we push the deadline, will you come in at the end? So it was on the 3rd try that they finally got me to go in, and it just worked out well, man. So people don't really know that story, that I'd actually said no twice, then I ended up winning the thing. So
treat them mean, keep them keen.
That's it. Yeah, it works in every way of life.
I'm sure some people watching now would like love to go on the show. You know what I mean? Whether it be for the right or wrong reasons. How did you actually end up on it? And like, who did you sign up, or did someone approach you?
No, they actually got onto me on Instagram. So there's kind of 3 ways you can get on the show. There's they find you on social media. They find you like walking around the streets and like restaurants or shops or something, or you can apply yourself. So they got onto me on Instagram and asked me would I go for the interviews, and it worked out. So I'd say there's a lot of kind of people looking at it now, Irish people being like, geez, I might have a crack off that.
But
definitely. I think it's a great opportunity.
I think getting
it's a big risk,
seems the main thing to get on the show, really, you know?
Yeah. Well, like people like Ovi and Anton, they both applied themselves, and they ended up, look at them now, like, so.
Yeah, but they're applying that works as well.
Yeah, Ovi's ridiculous.
Especially Ovi, with the basketball, yeah.
Yeah, he's brutal at bacon. Yeah.
What's that?
He's brutal at bacon. He was on the Great British Bake Off and he was terrible.
Yeah. He's so man to bake. He does a bit of everything now. He's a legend.
Yeah, sure. I think he wants to get on one of those shows. You can sort of get on any of the shows. You know what I mean? So, I think it
keeps rolling, and then the thing is, it's all about like staying relevant, I suppose, and that's why I kind of wasn't my style to move to London and be in that celebrity lifestyle, and I'm happy here in my little bubble in Ireland, kind of doing my own thing, you know.
Maybe that's the Limerick boy of you kicking in, you know.
Yeah, probably
is. Yeah.
I see you're doing a good bit of work with RT. Are you still doing a bit of work with RT?
Yeah, so luckily enough, 2FM gave me a gig as a presenter straight away when I came out of the villa, and like I have 0 radio experience, so that was throwing me straight in the deep end, and it worked out well because Darren Garrity basically ran the show, and I just kind of supplemented her, and I really enjoyed it, and the listenership went up by like 7,000 and stuff, so it was great. And then Owen came back, and that was grand. Then I got a gig with Virgin Media and TV, learned all the ins and outs of that, like reading auto cue and certain questions and all this stuff, which is all alien to me, but it's a great experience.
Yeah, I say you prefer the TV over the radio, so you can get up later.
Yeah, that's it. You can look at it back. Yeah. So I don't really know what the plan is for me. I kind of had the rugby, and I've been given a taste of TV and radio now. So, and I also have a law, which was always a long-term plan to become a solicitor. So I don't know where I'm going, what I'm doing now, but plenty of options.
Yeah.
Jeez, you've got a lot of me. Greg O'Shea is a total package. Beauty, brains, and the looks. Well, I said beauty and the looks. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're so good looking. I've said it twice.
Oh, Greg, man.
Very good.
Greg, before we move into rugby, I just want to say, obviously this season's Love Island, there was actually no Irish people on it. What you make of that? Like, because you won it, and Maura was probably the biggest story on the show. So you would have thought they'd be looking for more Irish people, you know?
Yeah, Maura was the biggest character to come out of the show, like, and then I obviously went in it, so that was very for the Irish, and we were the only 2 Irish on it. And it actually baffles me that ITV didn't put an Irish person into the winter one, just because it's obviously a certain formula there, you know.
Yeah.
But maybe they're saving them all for this summer's one. And yeah, I didn't really get to watch much of the winter one that's gone because I was traveling with the rugby so much. But
yeah, it wasn't great.
I can't have an opinion on it now. But what I heard is that there should have been some Irish mixed in there to bring a bit of drama and a bit of excitement.
Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah, or even just a bit of general banter.
And just general banter, yeah.
Yeah. But obviously, when you came back, you got straight back into the rugby. Like, was that hard to get back into?
Yeah, well, it was always my plan, no matter what happened. Like, I thought I was only going into Love Island for maybe 2-3 days, be hilarious. I'll get kicked out and be a good story with the lads. But I kept going on, kept going, kept winning. And then, but I was always in the back of my head, I have to get back home for training. Like, I'm trying to get to Tokyo 2020, trying to get to the Olympics. So I'm always going home training. And even though I won it, I had to go to the ITV. I was like, look, I have to get home. Like, I'm training. So I came back and got stuck into that. And a lot of people kind of gave out to me being like, you're throwing away the golden ticket. Like, you made it. You had the celebrity life. But it just didn't sit right with me. And I'm happier now. And even though the Olympics have been postponed, I probably look like a bit of a muppet. But look, you got to, happy decision, you know?
Do what you heard,
follow your dreams.
Yeah, exactly. You can't, the Olympics, not many people can say that they went there and represented the country. So, like, I think that's way more valuable than being on a magazine, like, you know?
Well, that's it. That's what I was thinking as well. I think Irish people can that, but some people over in the UK didn't really like what I did, but sure, it's done now.
I'm sure there's, like, people sitting there being like, can you not just miss the train and go play the match later? You know what I mean? I'm sure some people, like, you don't play sport, like, they don't get it. You know what I mean?
No, I can't understand it, yeah.
And like, hopefully you will be on the plane for Tokyo 2021. Will we see Greg with the Olympic tattoo?
Oh,
you get the rings?
100%. 100%. That's all we talk about. You have to get the tattoo if you go. Like.
True, yeah. Yeah.
It seems like everyone who's ever gone to the Olympics has that tattoo.
Yeah, 100%. It's only a small group of people, so I suppose if you're able to.
Where are you going to get
the
it?
Tattoo bug now. Right across the forehead. Like.
Very Irish, man.
Yeah.
Come here, Greg.
Exactly.
I want to get into the rugby now, right? So basically, who were you playing for first, and then how do you even get involved with the sevens? Because sevens wouldn't be like the main thing that people would look at, really. Because obviously, look at the 15s, the senior team. So how'd you get into it? Very interesting.
Yeah, so I played rugby my whole life. It was kind of, my whole family are really obsessed with rugby, and Shannon RFC is my team in Limerick, so I was always going to play regardless. And then I was doing athletics internationally for a few years, but then Munster came along and offered me a contract, but I obviously had to drop athletics to take that. So I was like, of course, it's my first love. I'm going to do rugby.
Yeah. What age
was
were you
with
then?
Munster, just coming out of school. So
okay.
what age is that? 17, 18?
17, 18, yeah.
18 maybe. Did 4 years with Munster. I went all the way through their academy system. And then I had a bad accident. I went to visit an ex-girlfriend of mine in New York, and I was cycling along on a bike, and I fell off, and I lacerated my Achilles. So I just, like, cut my Achilles in two, and my leg was completely ruined. Like, terrible situation. So Munster thankfully gave me another year to kind of rehab my leg, but I never really got back to where I was before.
Yeah. So what position were you as well?
I was a winger.
You were a winger, okay.
Winger. Yeah.
You don't know he was called Lightning O'Shea, no?
Who?
Lightning O'Shea on the wing.
Lightning O'Shea, that's me, yeah. I called it back in the day. When I got into the sevens team, I realised I'm not actually that fast. I'm just faster than normal people, but my God, people like Jordan and Terry Kennedy, they are some of the fastest people I've ever come across.
Yeah.
The sevens, it's a totally different sport, though, isn't it? It's crazy to see it. Like, you see, like, the Kenyans who, like, I'd love to see them string a 15-man team together, but when it comes to the sevens, like, they're actually very good, and it suits other countries a lot better to play the sevens than the 15s.
Yeah, it's the level we're trying to play at, the International World Series level. It's essentially a different sport, man. Like, it's just the level of running. Like, we're basically sprinting for 7 minutes at a time, and basically, if you're a big athlete with some sort of ball skills, your sevens will probably be suited to you. Where, like, 15s is much more tactical and like kicking the ball into the corner and doing them all and lineouts, all that stuff. You don't get that in the sevens. Sevens is more crack and it's just try time all the time.
Yeah. And then how did you eventually get picked up by the Irish team to join the sevens?
Yeah, so in that last year, after I was rehabbing my leg and trying to get back, I just didn't really get back into match fitness, and they were handing out contracts for the senior team, and there was the likes of Zebo, Earl, Sweetenham, Alex Wood, and all these lads. And they just didn't have contract for me. So the sevens picked me up, and thankfully they did. And then I transitioned into that team and just went off from there, and we're qualified for the World Series now.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Great journey.
Yeah, it was a great journey. I moved to Dublin to pick up that contract, and even though like the sevens isn't financially beneficial in any way, it's more the lifestyle, and you get to travel the world and see the world with your mates, and it's a really enjoyable game. So I'm delighted they picked me up, and I'd nearly, even like someone came in for a 15s contract now and offered it to me, I'd probably still play sevens, to be honest.
Yeah. Is there enough money in it to sort of live up in Dublin, or do you have to be doing your other stuff? Like, are the other lads working full time elsewhere, or what way is it working?
No, there's not enough money to be living in Dublin, but everyone, we kind of just supplement our income with other stuff going on. So I'm very lucky that I have other gigs. But before that, I was going to work in a law firm to supplement my income. And other lads are like physios, there's videographers, a lot of lads are in college, guys have picked up part-time work. So it's very similar to Gaelic players in that you train full-time, but then have other work to make some money, do you know?
Yeah. But you do a lot of traveling around the world to play this game as well. So, like, are you even in Ireland that often?
No, not really. We kind of travel for 2 weeks every month, from November to June. So it's a great way to see the world. Yeah,
that's madness.
We just came back. Yeah, so we did. So there's 10 legs around the world, and you go to places like Dubai, Singapore, Cape Town, LA, Sydney. It's amazing. Places you probably never travel unless you like purposely wanted to go there. Like, and now we're getting brought to play rugby. So it's a great way to see the world.
Did the RFU fund that trip then? Yeah.
Yes, the World Rugby pay for the flights and the accommodation, and then everything else that's needed, like gear and all that, all your few pay for. Like, so, you don't put your hand in your pocket when you're away. So it's a very good thing to do. It's a very good gig, and I'll try and play it for as long as I can. But
how many people are actually in that team that travel together?
There's 13 lads get brought on tour, 12 lads play, so traveling reserve, and then there's only about 20 of us in the whole squad.
Okay, that's like the manager and the coaches and stuff, and physios.
And in terms of the sevens, just for people who don't watch sevens, try and like sum up the game in terms of like forwards and backs and what way that works, because like the scrums are sort of funny looking.
Yeah, so the sevens rugby is literally what it says in the tin. There's 7 players on each team, and it's broken down into 3 forwards, a scrum half, and 3 backs. It's simple, so like an out half, a centre, and a winger, and there's 2 props and a hooker and the scrum half. It's so simple, and it's the same rules, but because there's less people on the pitch, any time that someone makes a mistake is a try. Like, do you know what I mean? So that's why it's so entertaining for people. And what happens is there's games just repeatedly coming out. Every 14 minutes there's a game. So like what happens is everyone just fills the stands, goes on the piss, and just watches games whenever they want it. There's just rugby happening in the middle of a park place.
Yeah, so it's like a rugby blitz.
It's exactly like a rugby blitz is what it is, just on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you're watching it, it's closer to rugby league than it is closer to rugby union, because like just the lack of rucks. You know what I mean? Like once somebody gets tackled, like, you know what I mean, it's not far off. Roll the ball through your legs and get going again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so fast, and that's why it's really entertaining. So that's why people don't. When they finally get to watch it, they're like, "Oh, this is a bit of crack." Like, and my sisters and my mother love watching it because it's only quick games and they don't have to sit around for 80 minutes. You know.
When can we expect it to come to Ireland? Because obviously it's in all the luxury places around the world. But can they do it on a rainy day in Dublin?
Yeah, so we've always talked about, because we're on the World Series now, that if you try and get a leg in Dublin,
that's the thing,
and there was talks about having the Olympic qualifier that for Tokyo in Dublin as well, but that never came about with everything that's going on at the moment. So hopefully down the line, I think Dublin would be great. People would definitely flock to it for the weekend and be an event to go to and support the Irish. So hopefully down the line we can get one here.
It will be, man.
Yeah, because the Kinsale Sevens is massive, obviously down in Kinsale. I assume you've been there. Like that seems to be like one of the sessions of the year, some people might call it.
Yeah, so it would be like an international version of that, like, so imagine how much fun it would be.
I feel like the Kinsale Sevens is almost like a festival in itself.
Yeah, funny enough, I've never actually been to Kinsale Sevens myself, which is such a sin.
Oh my God, Greg! I'll have to get down there this year. I've actually never been either, but like I've seen the photos, I've seen the videos, but like, first you play for Ireland, so like your excuses are much worse than mine.
Yeah, okay, we'll both go this year, so.
Yeah,
we'll go together.
Where's my invite, man?
Yeah. No, you didn't get invited, but
I'll be on Love Island. I'll be on Love Island like that time.
Yeah, it's grand. You can babysit for me.
Yeah. Well, also, Greg, like you've obviously been keeping a key eye on the senior team as well in the Six Nations. Well, what do you sort of make of how the transition from Joe Schmidt to Andy Farrell has been?
Yeah, it seems like the change of personnel in coaching has just sparked something new in the lads. And that's not saying that Joe Smith ran out of steam and wasn't a good coach. I think Joe Smith is one of the best coaches in the world. It's just after years and years of the same stuff, you know, change is good. It just kind of re-energizes people. I think that's what happened with the boys.
Oh, energize. Ah.
Hey.
Yeah.
See that? And the boys just got behind the newfound coach, and it worked out well. And unfortunately, Six Nations didn't finish, but there was some great stuff there.
Yeah, would you be
scheduled to finish in October?
It's supposed to be in October, yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, would you be very good friends with the players? Because obviously you train in the same facilities.
Yeah, I know a lot of them just from playing up the ranks, like the 18s, 19s, Ireland under 20s. So I played with the likes of Stockdale and Joey Carberry and Gary Ringrose and all those lads. And just from being around Blanchardstown, our training facilities, the other few buildings, we always see the lads. So everyone's very friendly, and it's a tight-knit group out there.
Yeah. Who's your favourite?
Who's my favourite out of the 15s? That's a great question.
It has to be Murray, doesn't it? Monster man.
Murray would probably be up there just because he's from Limerick, went to the same primary school. He's a nice lad. Like, you know, I just kind of can really relate to him in that we kind of had the same upbringing, and he's just becoming the best players in the world. Like, but we had the same kind of upbringing, you know.
Yeah. What about Zeebs? Are you allowed to still talk to him now?
Zeebs is a good lad. He messaged me now and again. I was only a young nipper in Munster when he was Simon Zebo, and he used to always kind of joke around with me, have little chats and stuff. And he's a good lad, but seems to be smashing it over in wrestling now.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Don't you wait? Obviously, you've definitely felt the backlash of the internet, and like, don't you wait? The Irish team are getting like talked about so much during the World Cup. Do you think that was actually really, first of all, getting to them, or they're even noticing it?
Yeah, they noticed it somewhat, just because, man, you can't get away from social media.
That's nowadays. That's the thing. Yeah, really can't.
If you try to avoid it, you're going to see it everywhere. So they would have known about it, but because like the team would be so tight, it wouldn't have got to them really mentally. I don't think they'd be so focused on their own game plan and what they're trying to do that it wouldn't affect. And they're such top professionals, like, you know, it would take a lot to rattle them now.
They can be brilliant the other day as well. Like, it's such cool crack watching the Irish, like the Six Nations, having a pint of Guinness and just enjoying it. Like, it's great.
Yeah, they're on their day. They're one of the best teams in the world. Like, so great set of lads.
Yeah, they could definitely beat anyone on their day, so they have done on previous occasions. So it'll be exciting to see them take on who's left, Italy at home and then France, and see if we can get another Six Nations under our belt. Yeah,
they're still in the running to win the thing, so fingers crossed. They boys keep training over this self-isolation period and are in shape to win it.
If there's anything you would sort of mix up or change or try different dynamics for the team, what would you like focus on?
I don't know if I change much, man, to be honest. Like, I'd love to see Joey Carberry back playing fit again, because I think him just in the squad and maybe put him on the bench and he can come in at 15 or come in at 10. He'd just bring that injection of like flair and speed with maybe 20, 30 minutes to go. I think that would be a good addition. But another one would be get Dan Levy back, because he's just a tackling monster and he's been unbelievable 7 to go around the pitch. But other than that, I think they're in good shape, man, and they just need to keep doing what they're doing under the new coach Andy Farrell. Yeah, and another one. Who would you pick from that team to join you on the Sevens for the Olympics? If you can only pick one. We always have this joke in our Sevens team being like, if the fifth put together a sevens team, would they be able to beat us? And they're like, I'm like, geez, it depends who they'd pick now, like, but it's nearly a different sport at the level we're trying to play. But if we could bring one fella across, it would be either. No, it'd be probably Jordan Larmour or Keith Earls, one of those two.
Larmour's steps are frightening.
Yeah.
I'd say one-on-one, that guy's they're both undefendable one-on-one, like, so imagine putting him on the sevens field and giving him so much space.
Yeah, but just Keith
I
Earls'
actually love Keith
teamwork
Earls.
is unbelievable. Yeah, his never say die attitude is something it's Ireland in a nutshell, really.
Yeah, he just keeps getting older, he keeps getting better, like, it's so weird.
Yeah, he's Mr. Consistent as well. Like, from the first minute of the game to the 8th minute of the game, like, you're getting 100% focus and concentration. And I almost think he's actually underrated still, despite how good he is. And, like, he's one of the first names on the team sheet.
Yeah, like, if there was a Lions tour coming up this summer, like, Earlsy would definitely be in it for me. I just think his attitude and how he plays every time is incredible.
That's actually a good shoot there. Do you think the sevens should have a Lions team as well?
that would be something else. Now.
That'd be something
talk about that as well. Yeah, it would be tough now between us and the three British nations. So we'd get a couple heads in there for sure.
Yeah, but you'd have to play like Fiji and Samoa. Like the dominance in sevens is different to the dominance in the 15s.
South Africa are pretty good, actually, to be fair, at sevens, and obviously at 15s they won the World Cup.
Yeah.
Is there
definitely?
Before we sort of wrap things up, what else needs to be done by the Irish sevens teams to just for the qualifications before the Olympics?
So there was supposed to be, and it hasn't been rescheduled yet, but I presume it will be because the Olympics has been postponed. But there's supposed to be a qualification tournament for the Olympics in June, for the last spot in the Olympics, but don't know when that's going to happen. It will probably all just be pushed to 2021. It will probably be June 2021. And if we win that tournament, we get the last spot in the Olympics. So we're in the run, and we're definitely one of the favourites. But fingers crossed we can get there.
Yeah, man. Hopefully for you. You deserve it.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
No worries, man.
Yeah, man. We'll be cheering you on from wherever we are.
From Love Island.
Yeah, from Love Island.
But you're definitely employed, man.
We applied for Big Brother.
Big Brother.
Yeah, but like I'm doing my own Big Brother right now in this apartment. But Greg, Ross, do you have anything else to say before we wrap things up?
No, Greg, just want to say thanks a million. It's not very often you get to speak to a Love Island champion and Irish rugby legend. Thanks a million for coming on the show. And look, for anyone who's watching at home, make sure you give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe. And Greg, we need you to stay energized.
Yeah, stay energized. Thanks very much for having me, lads. Appreciate it, gentlemen.